9:20. It's a time in the history of the United States we often still wrestle with. The Jim Crow South. Segregation and mistreatment of black citizens was rampant, and that was true even within the U.S. military.
In a two-part series, KSAT 12's Devin Clark took a look at the largest court-martial in the military's history, in which 13 Buffalo soldiers were later hanged here in San Antonio 100 years ago for a crime some of those men may not have even committed.
Devin joins us now for today's Reporter Debrief. Good morning, Devin. Thanks for coming in today.
Good morning, Mark and Leslie. I'm really happy to be here.
You know, this is, many cities have a long forgotten or even shameful events in their histories, and this is definitely one of them. We were just talking during the commercial break. Many of us have lived here a long time and have never heard this story.
I've never set it up for our viewers who may not have seen your series.
Right, and like you said, a lot of people don't know about this. This is a military city, and this is something that happened back in 1917. Basically, the 3rd Battalion, 24th Infantry Regiment were a group of black Buffalo soldiers who were sent to guard Camp Logan in Houston, but that was, of course, during the Jim Crow era where blacks and whites were not treated the same. One day, one of the soldiers interfered with a white officer arresting a black woman. He saw it as unfair treatment, but instead of a conversation ensuing between the officer and that soldier, he was thrown in jail. Another corporal from that regiment went to see about it. He was beaten and thrown in jail. Well, that sparked riots. It ended up being the only time in history where more white people were killed in a race riot than black people.
And so, before we go on with the history, let's go back to how you found out about this and the kind of side story, the Bow Tie Boys, is that what they're called?
Absolutely. Well, one of our assignment editors, Pat Barton, he's like a walking museum. He brought it to our attention, and I was really excited about covering that story. And yes, the Bow Tie Boys, these are a group of young men from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a group of mentees who were brought down to learn about this, organized by a reverend and the organizer of this group here. And these guys were able to go on a tour of Fort Sam Houston. They were in the gift chapel where that trial for these 63 soldiers took place. They also visited the burial site, the original burial site where the 13 men who were hanged were put in the ground right by the Salado Creek. And they also, after that, went to the actual cemetery where these men were eventually reburied, the Fort Sam Houston Cemetery.
All right, so of the men that were convicted, some got prison sentences, 13 were hung.
Right.
And the site where they were hanged is now present day?
It's a golf course. It is a golf course at Fort Sam Houston, and it's really interesting to see the dynamic because when I visited the golf course, I saw people of all races playing golf, enjoying that pastime, but 100 years ago, that was not the case.
Was that an eerie feeling knowing what happened there 100 years ago?
I got goosebumps, honestly, because I'm here reporting on this story as a black person, and I wouldn't have had that right back then.
Well, and one of the things, too, that I thought was interesting is how swiftly they carried out these sentences.
That is another thing, and that is what people are trying to kind of change right now. These men were they were sentenced on December 9th. 2 days later, they were hanged with no due process. They did not have the chance. Nope, none of that. They were hanged. They were carried out in the night, and then before dawn on December 11th, 1917, all 13 of them were hanged.
Now, you, as part of this, visited the Buffalo Soldier Museum in Houston, which a lot of people may not know about in itself as well. What was that experience like, Devin?
That was a really interesting experience because there I actually got to speak to the great niece of Corporal Jesse Moore, who was considered noose number 7. That's what they classified him as, and he was in plot.
Heartbreaking to see the video of that, the pictures.
Yes, yes, it was very, very touching. But she told me a lot of the history that went on there, and she also told us about posthumous pardons that she's trying to get for these 13 men because they were not given due process. As you mentioned, Mark, later on some of the men were jailed and others were hanged as well, but they were given due process, a lot of them. These 13 men were not, so that was the whole goal of what she was trying to
All of this happened here in our backyard.
It happened here.
And they finally were buried at Fort Sam Houston, but their headstones look a lot different than other soldiers.
Right. If you look at their headstones on Fort Sam Houston, it's very easy to identify them because all it has is their name and their date of death. It doesn't have their military unit. It doesn't have their rank. It really doesn't let you know who these men were or what they did because before they came to Houston to guard Camp Logan, these men served. These were the men who chased down the outlaws. They helped that Western movement. They helped us be able to civilize the West.
So many wrongs that still need to be made right, and I know you'll continue to keep us posted as this progresses.
And if you at home have not seen the series, please go to ksat.com. There's 2 different stories. Both of them are just They're heart-wrenching, eye-opening, and so educational. Thank you for joining
Devin,
us.
thanks for coming in today. We appreciate it. We know our schedules are opposite.
Yeah, no, we never
I had
see
my
you.
coffee, so I'm good.
Good. We highly recommend. Thank you, Devin.